sir. You guys already know what time it is. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football, a.k.a. Downtown Nino Brown. Buddy, stay busy. What you been up to, Nino?
Just, sleeping. Nah, it's on draft countdown this weekend for the draft. You know the deal, man.
How was that?
That was good. Me and both sides, we were did the whole fourth round live. It was a good time. It was nice. I was hoping Rattler would have went, but he didn't go in that round. It would have been nice. Me and both sides with the gun at roost.
Right,
culmination of it all. But it was the draft's gone. We have the new children coming in for us to critique and groom and blossom into the next level. So I'm excited for the new year. Please, bring me college football.
It's amazing because I shared the same sentiments on College Football Show that earlier. Message, I go check that out. I'm like, they're gone. I don't talk about them anymore. Jada was like, well, we could probably bring them up during the season. I said, no, they're gone. It's time for the new
chapter
class.
Closed. Blank paper.
That's it. It's time to do it all over again. And I am proud to call you my business partner, my partner in crime. Let's get into it, man.
Let's go.
Name two teams. Rapid fire. Y'all know how we come. I don't got to tell y'all what it is. Name two teams that had a fantastic draft.
Two teams that had a fantastic draft. All right. I'm gonna go with first off, because not just because he's part of the crew, but I think they had a good run here. Dean Allen's team, Detroit Lions. So they've got two top tier backs in Arnold and Rakestraw, right? To pair with Branch from last year, and they also brought in Carlton Davis. No, they locked these guys in to face the secondary. This secondary is going to face wide receivers: JJ, Addison, Watson, Reed, Keenan Allen, TJ Moore, and Odunze. Like they know what they had to do, and they attacked it. Okay. They also got Mekhi Wingo at the defensive tackle, a depth piece who could probably be a starter, maybe next year. Mahogany in the 6th is an absolute steal.
Wow. I can't believe he fell.
This is the one that people are sleeping on. It's Vaki. Okay. Oh, yeah, he's a great safety. He's an athlete. Bro, if you just did a little diving right after the pick, a lot of the beat writers out of Detroit are saying that they like them off of offense. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. So a little Swiss Army knife. Maybe J-Mo's not the dude that everybody thought he was going to be in Detroit. But Vaki can be that athletic dude. So I think they two drafts back to back, man. They've kind of just nailed it. Now this one is a surprise. I think the Arizona Cardinals hit a home run in this draft all the way around, and not just from Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay. Again, for the same reason I think that Detroit did well. I think Arizona did. Max Melton, Elijah Jones, right? You got DBs in this to go along with Keitrell Croc, right, that they got last year from Louisville. Look at the wide receivers that they're going to face. 49ers, right? Seattle, Rams, they got to be all over the field. They need DBs that could be locked down, that can travel at a quick, like a good hands, pass breakup. Bro, they did it as well, right? Trey Benson. Now, this one goes underrated. Is Tip Rainman, the tight end out of Illinois. They said the pass catching tight end. My man ain't catching any passes, but they had no depth at tight end. And this dude is the legitimate blocking tight end. Bro, they got an agent, James Conner. They're just bringing in Benson. What do you got? You got a guy that can sit at home and block and be in two tight end sets. I absolutely love everything Arizona did. And they locked up Xavier Weaver out of Colorado right away after the draft was over as a UDFA and gave him $200K guaranteed. That means that they're seeing a role for this gentleman.
Right.
So I love everything Arizona and Detroit did. I mean, there was a few other teams.
And I'm sure their scouts seeing Weaver a lot as well, too.
Yeah, it did well. But I just think I was surprised at how Arizona attacked it.
King of the segue. Speaking of UDFA, name one 7th rounder or the UDFA that has either starting day one potential or a preseason warrior. I can't wait to hear your list because I know you did your homework.
I'm gonna go with Brendan Rice here.
Oh, okay. I felt bad for him. I'm sure you've seen the post.
Yeah, he was at his friend's. It was good for his best friend's wake, right? Is that what it was, or if it was the cousin's wake? Or something?
Yeah. It might have been a family member.
Yeah, family member's wake, and he got the phone call. And but the room is kind of open here, right? Like obviously Josh Palmer's the vet in the room, but Quentin Johnson got to prove something because he didn't prove much last year. is going to be a starter, right? They got him. They went and got him. He's that guy. But outside of that, I mean, there's a good chance that this, Brendan Rice could be pushing Q for some reps in camp. And listen, if it goes into a 50-50 split in camp, oh, watch out. Because I don't know if Q is built for the competition. We seen last year when he had to struggle to get some reps. When he got his reps, he kind of didn't perform. I see our guy Dino throwing out the Carson in Kansas City. I love it. It's just super duper deep. They're another team that had a great draft, know. But yeah, they're running back room is super deep from last year and this year. They just keep signing up the UDFAs, man.
Yep. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I'm gonna be a bit of a homer here. I'm interested in. I'm not saying it's gonna be a day one starter, but I think a preseason warrior can possibly be Frank Gore Jr. I think that if you watch the Bills, they don't really play their starters a lot during the preseason, so I don't think we'll see much of Cook. So we should see a lot of Ray Davis, a lot of Frank Gore Jr., and I think that's going to be an interesting battle in the preseason. So
let's. He could be a Curtis Samuel. More so than every down back, because I mean they went and got Ray. I think Ray and Cook together complement each other. You got
they complement each other very well.
And you got the shifty guy, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I liked hey, UDFA. Can't go wrong, right? Take the shot.
Right. Little rewards, possibly high reward or little reward. Exactly. Dylan Edwards leaves Boulder.
Oh, skip one. Don't skip it.
Oh, did I skip one? Oh, my bad. I'm so excited about Dylan Edwards. I did skip one. Damian Martinez leaves Corvallis and heads to the 305.
I'm going to leave it with one line. I want everybody to keep the same goddamn energy they had about Mario Cristobal 60 days ago, okay? Because when the season starts, I got a funny feeling we're going to have a lot of 180s going on.
Yeah, we just seen it down in Austin about a week ago. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Jalen said on College Football Showdown, just reading the tea leaves, saying that Damian Martinez was like an all Miami stuff. Just had a feeling he was gonna go there. D-Now's been killing with the bold predictions, man, for sure. Now to the one I really wanted to get to. Dylan Edwards leaves Boulder and heads to the Little Apple, to a place that kind of does well with smaller running backs.
Yo, they got a lot of speed in that backfield. Avery Johnson, DJ Giddens, Dylan Edwards. Bro, you better, Big 12 better be bringing speedy safeties and linebackers, or they are about to get cut up like Edward Scissorhands.
I love to play on words there. Dylan Raiola, 16 of 22, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in his spring game debut. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to put it as simple as it could possibly be. Dylan Raiola is special, and he played the part on Saturday.
Wow.
He made guys that weren't relevant in Nebraska relevant. And I'm just going to leave it at that. There's wide receivers that have struggled for 2 to 3 years that look good.
That really little part. And then if you know Nino only hype guys that are truly his guys, and he feel like they're like diamonds in the rough that he found. But so to give Dylan Raiola that type of hype is very special. Let's talk about a team that you like. We had our guy SC, SC boots on the ground, man. That it's rarely a moment that I have to pinch myself and say, is this real? But the fact that SC was at the spring game, I had to pinch myself a little bit. I don't know if you had to do the same thing. We done kind of, grew this thing from the ground up. Yeah, it's kind of fire. The Oregon Ducks had their spring game this past weekend as Dylan Gabriel led his green team to a 28-23 victory over Dante Moore's white team. Dylan Gabriel was 14 of 21, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ever Stewart put on the show as well with 67 receiving yards, 40 of which came on 1 pass. Nino, Dan Lannon, and the Oregon Ducks are ready to take the college football world by storm. First, recap your impressions of this spring season for the Ducks, and then give us a breakdown of the spring game.
Spring's been great in Eugene. I think everything has been nice and green for the grass that's in Eugene in the spring. But as far as the game, a couple points I'm going to take away. Again, shout out SC, killed it out there.
Yeah, he did. He did his thing for sure. Kudos. Article is fire.
The QB room is in good hands. Gabriel, Dante Moore, Nova said, Dante Moore looks comfortable. Noticeable difference from last season to this season, right? But my guy, and I said it to you the minute that Dante Moore left and Austin Overset came in. Austin Overset ain't backing down. He's hungry. And he's talented. and he can throw the football around. So it's not a guarantee that Dante Moore is QB2 off the rip, just like it wasn't a guarantee a year ago that Drake May was QB2.
You wow, bro.
Dylan Gabriel still making mental errors that carried over from UCF to Oklahoma. There was a lot of passes that I was like, Brody, what are you doing? Where are you trying to throw the ball to? It's early, but something that stuck out to me. All right, everybody, sit down for a second.
You're a truth teller, brother.
I want you to listen to me listen to the whole statement before you make an assumption.
I'm a little nervous.
Is there a world where Tez Johnson is the wide receiver 1 for the Ducks this year? Is there a world where Evan Stewart comes back next season and doesn't take off to the NFL this season? Because I know you say he put on a show for 67 yards. I saw Tez Johnson putting on a show every which way. He was tap dancing around that defense, his own defense. I know it's a glorified practice, but Tez Johnson looked like to me like he was target number 1 for the Oregon Ducks, whether it was Dante Moore. Well, it would have been Gabriel. Yeah, it was Dante Moore. They all switched up, so it was all
yeah.
So it didn't matter what it was. He kept getting targeted. They kept whether it was deep balls, whether it was screen passes, bubble screens, out the backfield. I'm just saying, that's fine, Dina. I'm just saying, Tez might be one, but it just looked like he was the main target in the spring. And I know it's early. Evan Stewart hasn't been there that long, but just something to put on there. Also, I noticed that Holden left with a hamstring injury. Like, it was instant. Was running a route, went to the sideline, grabbed it, didn't come up right away. It did not return. So that's something that you're going to want to know. They're deep at wide receiver anyway, but just something you want to keep an eye on out. The running back coach, Rashad Samples, is making his presence known early. Physical running from both Jordan James and the D2 guy, Jay Harris, bro. It was absolutely phenomenal to see how they were like, everybody was trying to get their King Henry on, stiff arm and throwing people around, putting head down, just going to work. So Casper, he was out there. I think late he had a couple targets, but they were trying to work a lot of the young guys in. They started 2 freshman DBs in the game as well. Other thing I noticed, Jamari Caldwell, Houston transfer, boy, 300+ pound. He about to be a run stuffer on that defensive line for the Oregon Ducks. He was just they had good runs, but you ran up the gut, you had to see him first. You had to answer to the bouncer, and the bouncer usually didn't lose. Duke transfer safety Brandon Johnson. He was another guy who was praised, wearing number 0 out there. He was a guy who was very physical in the run game. I see him a lot on the line and in the box, which is something I was interested in. I know there's a lot of transfers coming in. Muhammad on one side, Savage, on the other end. But he seemed to be the more physical run-stopping guy in that secondary. So that's something I want to keep an eye out. And Jerry and Dickey, baby. In that second half, there was Jerry and Dickey sightings. There was 2 back-to-back manufactured plays for him. I know he's deep on the depth chart, but 99 is the guy that I've been pounding the table for the past, year and a half, and I believe this is going to be his time. He won't be wide receiver 1, 2, or 3, but there will be a chance for him to get in there and eat. And don't count out Justice Lowe. He's emerging, and he had a nice big play over the middle late in the second half. So those are my takeaways.
It's always interesting doing these shows, and from time to time, in creating the script, I'll ask a similar question, and just like you just were, Jalen did the same thing, pounding the table about Jerion Dickey. Pounding the daggone table. So it's exciting to hear that. So our Oregon, and this isn't on the script, is Oregon where you think they should be at this point, heading into their break before fall camp?
Yeah, I like everything that's cooking over there. I like so for the young guys, I'd like the step that young Concrete has taken. It seemed like he was always moving forward and not back. And that's, Mateo Ugalale, the younger brother of DJ. Like
I'm glad you know how to say that.
last year he was kind of like spotty work. He's a true freshman, but he got time. This year it's his role. But it seemed like he was always going forward, which I'd like to see. Yeah, I think they're good. I like the fact that the quarterback room is hungry. Everybody's battling. Gabriel should be QB1, barring something crazy. But nothing's guaranteed. And like I said,
No.
the fact that you got a D2 transfer coming in, and Jay Harris at running back, and that dude was just taking off. Like, I do believe it's like another guy, Clay, was a freshman, true freshman running back. They gave him the ball like 4 straight times to start off the game. So they wanted freshmen to get some production, and they did. Everybody was talking about, Oregon always talks about their fan base and blah, 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 and showing pictures of empty stadium. Well, did you show the full sold out stadium in the damn rain? Did they show you that one? No,
of course not.
That one didn't.
Of course not. Not at all. Britt Brennan and a new look Big 12 Arizona Wildcats took the field for their annual spring game as the offense was able to beat the defense 21-0. This Arizona team caught some people off guard last season, but we know how this works. The hunter will become the hunted. What is the overall temperature of this program after the exit of Jed Fish? And what are your takeaways from the spring game?
Overall temperature is just lukewarm. They're comfortable. I mean, they're out to prove something, but nothing crazy. No Ted McMillan, but he's expected to have a full recovery from cleanup procedure. He was at the game and seen on a scooter. Okay, so you can take it at that. I think he's fine. But also, running back Qual Conley was in the spring game. He was hurt, seen on the sideline. I think he had a boot on as well. So 2 of the main guys, not there. Noah Fafita is ready to bend the Big 12 over. I'm just going to leave it at that. My man had some big throws. He had some big runs. Yes, he had an interception, but he looks like he is prepped and ready to go. And he was just finding guys, even though Tet wasn't there. He was just facilitating the ball downfield. I loved what I saw. Linebacker Justin Flo looks primed to finally take that breakout. I know ex-Duck. Right, I think he can finally get to that level. Maybe get to that 85 to 100 tackles. You know me, man. I don't sugarcoat shit.
No, you don't. You don't. You're a truth teller.
All right, I'm gonna put this out there. All right, ready? I'm gonna put this out there. No Diddy. Keep an eye out for freshman wide receiver Devin Hyatt, 6'2", 200 pounds, former IMG wide receiver. That's Jalen Hyatt's brother.
We just got a Nino nugget. What? Say that one more time.
I want you to keep an eye out, right, for freshman wide receiver Devin Hyatt, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a former IMG, wide receiver. It's Jalen Hyatt's younger brother. And he plays with the hood on, just like Hyatt did. But he got some targets from Fafita as well later on in the spring game. So he's hard to miss. I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right. So let's keep an eye out for the kid. And listen. Brennan had it as vanilla as it gets. It was vanilla Coke out there. All right. So you can't really take much about it. But the fact that my guy Fafita was just having a day, like I said, about to bend him over.
Hey, man, I love it. I in my mind, I just put 750 to 759 to 18 minutes that we got a clip that we're going to play back later. I promise you're going to be right about it again. Nino, it's we do have some games this weekend, but for the lack of better words, the spring season is pretty much over. Let's hand out some awards. Give me a team or two.
I got 4.
You from 4? Okay,
I got one from each conference.
Yeah, one from each conference. Let's do it. What you got?
So from the ACC, I got Miami, and if I have to explain it to you, then you haven't been following along as things have been going. They've actually been crushing the portal.
Cristobal has done a great job recruiting and the portal. And that's how you build a team. Not one either or. It's recruiting and the portal. He's done a great job.
He has absolutely crushed it. Josiah Trader. Hello. Right now here comes Cam. Like, man, it's like Cam and Dean. What is it? Rockefeller? Are we talking about Rockefeller? We're gonna bring back the Rock change on Miami. What's going on? But yeah, Miami's actually killing it.
It eliminates excuses though, because the construction of this roster is beautiful.
Have you heard anything out of Mario? He ain't said nothing. Nothing good, but no bad. He's just sitting there, right? Got his cigars ready like Dan Lanning. Just waiting. Just waiting. The Big Ten, Nebraska, boys. They kept that secret really, really tight-knit about how good Dylan Raiola was and how comfortable he was in the system. The secret's out. And homeboy said, Matt Ruther said, his players are getting calls left and right now from other coaches, and he's letting it known. My man, Nebraska's, the storm is coming. He know, did he? Yeah. Oh, man, I love it. I'm going to go with the Big 12, West Virginia.
Oh, I
Now,
like that.
Garrett Green's been doing his thing, but sneakily, West Virginia, my friends, has quite the deep wide receiver room, okay? And now they have a deep quarterback room because Nico Marichal has taken the step. Everybody in that school, that program, they liked this kid. They were hoping that he would take a step from last year this year. We saw it in the game. The kid was comfortable. He was running around there, mobility. He was firing away. Listen, Jaden Bray coming over from Oklahoma State, Traylon Ray, right? I know it's rhymes. Hudson Clement. Those are 3 dudes right there that are absolute sleeper wide receivers this year. People aren't talking about. All 3 of those guys could catch 50, 65 balls.
Wow.
Pause. Okay. Now, let's go to the SEC. This one, there was a couple teams that I wanted to, I was kind of back and forth about. But I'm going to go Mississippi State.
I like that. That team from Starkville.
Coming out the mud. They got a guy that wants to prove something, and he was easily putting that on display in the spring game in Blake Shapen. And it's not just him. Jeff Lebby wants to get out the shadow, bro. Jeff Lebby wants to do his thing, and it seemed as though he was cool and calm, comfortable in the spring game. And
the culture has changed.
Yes,
so quickly.
So those are my 4 teams.
I love it. I love that you didn't just talk about the teams kind of everybody expected. You kind of talk about some teams that are flying under the radar, and guess what? They're comfortable flying just under the radar. So now we're gonna do something a little bit special. Give me your spring season all early enrollee team. Name 5 players, either offense or defense. I don't care how you do it. Just talk about some all early enrollee.
I got 5 total.
Okay, beautiful.
3 offense, 2 defense. Right off the bat, I'm gonna keep pounding the table and keep planting the flag. I'm gonna go with Jeremy Helinski out of Wake Forest. I told you about him.
You did.
Most people didn't hear about him, know who he was, and in that spring game here, I'm
literally the day before the game. And you guys have been here because we got a lot of the same people who's always here. You guys were here the day before the game. Nino made that prediction, was 100% correct.
And you're here on Monday when I was chewing because
you had the right to.
Yeah, he got the howitzer. He got the pocket presence, and he's a true freshman. We've seen guys go in there and just throw up on their feet like Tanner Mordecai did last year in Wisconsin, right? Come out there and just not do well. They bring the veteran in the room and he just can't handle it. Now, I'm not saying that, Bachemeier is that dude, but he has a lot of health concerns. So he hasn't been able to stay healthy. All they say is just give me a shot, right? Don't leave the door open a little bit, because if I get my foot in the door, it's a wrap. Helinski gets his foot in the door, bro.
Fall camp is that's gonna be one of the battles I'm paying the closest attention to.
That's my boy. My boy wins, but watch out. You're going to not hear about me. I know Dino said obviously Smith. I'm gonna go with Cam Coleman. We've seen the presence that he brought to the room, Auburn, and what he did out there. I mean, this kid Thompson's not even there yet, so I can only imagine when Perry Thompson shows up. Like, now you're gonna have 2 alphas out there, whatever else they have in the room that can step up and perform. Fair just left, so there's going to be more targets for these guys. But this is, you see, he looks like a grown. Everybody's saying Jeremiah Smith, Julio Jones, he's a grown man, right? Like, Cam Coleman looks like, he's not an 18-year-old kid. Looks like he's a 20-year-old kid, a 21-year-old out there doing his thing. You can see why he's in that other tier. I'm going to go defensively. I didn't get much play for Notre Dame this year in the spring game, but I'm going to go with Kingston Vilamula Asa, freshman linebacker. I went out on a limb and I said that he was going to be better than Sammy Brown. I still believe that, even though Sammy Brown was LB1 in the class, and committed to Clemson. The kid checks every box. He's there early. He's grinding. If you read anything and how he's handling it, he knows he's got to be there early, and he's just in there grinding, just film, studying, whatever he's got to do to get better at his craft. So I just think the fact that he was an early enroll, and maybe he doesn't get much time right off the rip, but for me, walking the walk, learning your craft, sharpen iron. So I think this kid's gonna. I'm not saying week 1, but watch out for week 4 and on. You might start to see the presence of KVA. Another defensive guy like D'Amico Kennedy, defensive lineman, Purdue. Okay, this is a guy that they thought about possibly putting on the offensive line, and he's just so gosh darn violent that they had to switch him to the defensive line. And he has been very, very difficult to keep off of the field. Okay, when the opportunity arises, my man's got a stranglehold on it. I think this kid could be, after fall camp ends, could be your starter on the defensive line as a true freshman. So this is something you want to watch out for. And then my last guy, Penn State tight end Luke Reynolds. Shout out to Eric Froton. He put me onto this kid. He said that he was legitimate. He was an early enrollee getting in there. Now, the quarterback issue, that has nothing to do with him. But he was in there getting reps. He was in there in the spring game. The kid's been in there early, late, staying late, just whatever he has to do to just get time, get in the film room, get in the quarterback's ear. He's there. So watch out for this kid. This is a possibility in 3 years that he's your tight end 1.
That was a great list of names, and I'm so excited for this time period, because if you look at the college football landscape, as far as we think that there's a lot of people that talk about the sport, and there's a decent amount of people, but it's kind of in quarters. If we like to say, fall camp, people talk about it. During the season, of course, people talk about it. College, football playoff, people are talking a little bit after the portal season. Are talking about it. Spring, they're talking about it, and then there's this gap where people are just not talking about the sport at all. And we will be, though. every Monday night you can catch us here 8:15 most nights. Sometimes we have to do it at 9 because the mayor is a busy guy, man.
I'm sorry. Get booked up.
Yeah. So go take us away, Nino.
Hey, this was a good one. I appreciate all of the viewers and fans. Strong every week coming in here and just kicking it with us. Engagement. We love the engagement.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now this is going to be a time where people tend to step away. So if you want some personal interaction, questions that you guys would like us to answer, boom, hit us in the comments in the chat, or you can hit us up on the Twitter, CFB Nation. Either one of our DM us, and we will gladly put it on the dock and talk about your team, your school, your player, maybe even your coach, who maybe he's the guy in the hot seat, maybe he's the next up and coming guy. But whoever it is, whatever it is, we appreciate all the love and support over here at CFB Nation. And once again, we out.